Alright, just finished putting out the comic books as usual. Everything new for the week. Kind of a thin week for DC. Some Absolute, Flash, KO is still going. We still have a few of these, and you'll be begging for them as the storyline goes on, as the battles take place, and the DC universe changes and heads for a collision with the Absolute universe. Ultimately, these guys over here still one copy of that left. First appearance of Black Cat in the Absolute Universe. Superman Unlimited continues. And this was just something, we had a few of these together and noticed that we had a couple of these as well floating around. And thought we'd just combine the two. It's the beginning of Batman Hush 2. It's Batman 128. And this is the gatefold cover. It's a really, really cool cover. And, you know, the two of them are probably a $20 deal right now if you tried to get one. Maybe even more, maybe closer to $25 if you tried to get one. And so we were thinking we'll do what we have for $10 for the pair there, just because. But not that it's. Oh, and well, let's just quick to mention, Ben has put a lot of work into putting together these collections. These are, you know, up to issue 12, depending on which ones they are, of the various Absolute series, Green Lantern, Flash, Martian Manhunter, all of them. He's put together these bundles of them, and we're selling them for, I noticed, we were selling them for about half what they're asking for the same things online. So if you're looking to catch up on any of these, or just, you know, they're not necessarily all first prints. You know, some of them are a mix of printings and what have you, but they're complete runs up to whatever the last number is in them. Some of them are 12. Some of them haven't made it that far yet in the title. A bunch of new stuff for Marvel. There's the latest Punisher Red Band, and then we still have a couple of it's the Marvel Knights new series, the World to Come storyline. We even actually still have a handful of those as well, just floating around, waiting for you to pick them up. This looked like a lot of fun. The Gargoyles, Fantastic Four for Gargoyles. Fantastic Foil, there you go. Just put the whole word together. Just run them all together like one of those Ben and Jennifer, you know, Bennifer name. Yeah, there you go. The Fantastic Goyles. Okay. So Fantastic Four Gargoyles. Kind of fun. Diablo has figured out, or thinks he's figured out, the secret to immortality, and he believes it's in gargoyles, and the gargoyles aren't going to give up their DNA that easily. And so it looks like they're going to have to team up with the people who know Diablo best, the Fantastic Four. And there's a couple of cool covers. In fact, there's a shiny one for those of us who like the shiny objects. And there's a Scotty Young for the fun, cute stuff. And, of course, a blank one for those of us who like to draw on our comic books. Godzilla continues at a very slow pace to destroy the Marvel Universe. New Hulk, new Jedi Knights. There's still a couple of the Black, White, and Blood and Guts left. The big thing with Marvel this week, of course, though, is some more of the Age of Revelation. We have Iron and Frost, Rogue Storm. Some pretty cool covers on the Rogue Storm, including that where they actually get Rogue in there as well to go along in the Rogue Storm. Sinister Six and Unbreakable X-Men. Just a handful of each of these. Tried to grab a couple of the cool covers. Spider-Girl there. And there's your rogue split personality thing going on. And I could tell you about the Age of Revelation, but it's one of those, it's so big. As you can see, here's all the titles from the previous week. And that may not even be all of them. We may have run through a couple of them already. And then here's one of the precursors, one of the storylines before it all begins. And there was something else too. There was an X-Men, I think. Oh wait, it's probably behind Amazing X-Men. Yeah, so there you go, and that's part of, there, right there, it says that's connected right there, dawn of the age of revelation, and like I said, I could go on and tell you about it, but there's too much of it, and frankly, it won't make any difference. You're either going to enjoy the stories or you're not. It's not going to change the Marvel Universe. They'll go back to what they were doing, and there'll probably be literally no repercussions, nothing interesting comes out of it that affects 616 or the main Marvel Universe or any of the main X-Men titles or any of it. I hate to say it, but it's probably true. 30 Days of Night, you know what that is. That's vampire people. We love that stuff. Dungeons and Dragons, the fallbacks get. I think it might be their first comic book. I know they've been in sort of novel form. Fun little group of sort of misfit adventurers, not necessarily the guys you would want to call on to do your adventuring for you. I don't know why people would have it, but whatever you need them to do the adventuring for you, slay the dragon, rescue the girl, retrieve the treasure, the gem, the jewel, the weapon, whatever. It's Dungeons and Dragons. We all get it. It's whether or not you like the personality of the characters, and these characters have shown a little bit of personality and jumped out to the forefront, and you gotta love the fact that they have Uggy, their Pat Otyug. Mark Spears. I said Mark Sears last week, I think. I don't do any prep for these things, guys. I just put the comic books out there and turn the things on, and if I've read them or if I know about them, I can talk about them. I don't know about this one, but it is Mark Spears, not Mark Sears, and it is a blind bag, but we're going to find out about it. Stick to the end of this video and we'll open it, but don't worry, it's not going to post until tomorrow. Nobody will know what was in it except for me, and it won't post until stores begin to open. I'm sure there'll be other people that'll post way before me. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't know if you know or not, but DC came out after the blind bag, the Batman stuff, and they were very upset about people opening the blind bags in advance, and I get it. It doesn't really do anything, but it does kind of ruin it potentially for some people if, some of the more rare books have been found already by the time they buy theirs during the day. But that's going to happen anyway, no matter what, in a natural sense, because things open at different times across the nation, and, you got a sort of 3-hour difference or 4-hour difference depending on where you're getting your books at and when you're getting your books. And so it doesn't really make that big of a difference. It's not really going to change most buyers. And the other thing about it is that so they had some people do that. The fact is that almost nobody who's buying their stuff saw it. That's the truth. It's people like me. I didn't. I opened my stuff afterward. I don't want to. I didn't even think of it in that term. It's just it doesn't come out until that day. I don't necessarily release it until that day. It's different if I want to talk about it. If I can just open up the book already without having to spoil what's inside it, I can do that. But at any rate, stick around. I'll open that up. We won't be in trouble, and it's not DC anyway, so who cares? We don't want to make those guys upset, do we? The big guys. There's a brand new one, Terabytes. This is going to be something of an anthology series of books, and it's I guess they've done some things. There's the Netflix show, the Black. I don't know. That show. Some things along that, sort of technological horror stories. This first one's about this visor that I guess you can strap it on before you're dying and before your last breath or whatever, and maybe as you're in the hospital or something. And it'll show you your life, and it records it. And I don't know. There's a lot to it. It's one that you'll have to get into. Let's see, there was a couple other things, couple of interesting things. This right here, Save Now, brand new, Matt Kent, the New York Times best-selling author. This is Bad Idea stuff. This was originally only available as a Kickstarter. It's out now. Let's see, Lucky Devils picks back up after a little bit of a hiatus there. And that's the Charles Soule, Ryan Brown thing. And if you don't remember, it's about these little devils that they're trying to work their way up through the ranks of hell, and they do that by influencing people to do bad things ultimately. And so they sort of team up with their people. Their people aren't supposed to know they're there, and they team up with their people in an attempt to sort of get them to act and behave in a certain way to help advance them through the ranks of hell. Very interesting story. It's unfortunate that there was something of a break in it, because you know how that can get. People can forget and they'll move on. And I just wanted to make another quick note. So here's these wonderful titles right here. Here's the new Cullen Bunn. This is about a prison, a women's prison. Haha, yeah, I know that's the first image. Sure. No, it's much more serious than that. It's more of a horror story kind of thing. Basically, it's a island type prison, a rock type prison. You know, Alcatraz type. And it's surrounded by water, and the water level is rising, and they can't get out. They're trapped in there, and these monsters come in. So you can see this sort of sea monster thing going on there. And then I suppose also the monsters individual Batman thing here hanging in the way. These individual, people are pretty monstrous too. That's not going to see the shelf. Artillery, weapons of art. This is great. Jimmy Robinson's artillery. AI, you can even kind of see it there. So AI has figured out that that art and creativity only come from these sources. There's these gateways, and they are the source of all creativity and artistic talent. And the AI has become aware, and it's taken control of these things, and it's captured them or destroyed most of them. And there's one left, and Mona Lisa comes to life. And she taps these various different types of artists. There's a comic book artist and a graffiti artist, and then some guys industrial art or something like that. And they team up, and they have to try to pull off this heist to steal this last portal, this last creativity portal. Not hitting the shelves. It's going into pulls because we just can't take the chance on ordering so many of them. This one just picked up just the other day for a movie. They basically ran in, I guess it sounds like they ran in at Comic-Con and snatched up the rights to it really quick the second they opened up the doors. And so they're talking about this one becoming a movie. And again, it's not hitting the shelf. You got to get on the pull. When you do get on the pull, there's always a chance to win something cool. I thought this was a one-off, or sort of one per store. I don't believe that to be the case now, but it is one of the highly sought-after ones. I know they're all sold out around town around here. So you'll win all three of those potentially if you sign up for a pull or if you add one of these wonderful new titles. The good news is while these are not going to hit the shelf, you can still get a copy of them. We could still order them for you if you wanted them on your pull. That is absolutely a thing we can do. Stick around just a second. I will crack this bad boy open and we'll see what's in it. Okay, as I promised, we're going to open a couple of these up, and again, I'm not breaking the rules. I'm not ruining the fun for anybody. I won't release the video until tomorrow. It's already tomorrow in some places. That's how late it is at night here. But I will wait until tomorrow during the day, and this will drop before before the entire day goes away. So what we're looking at here is Markspears Monsters, part of his whole Monsters line, The Monster and the Wolf. It's a trick-or-treat blind bag, they're calling it. Keen Spot, first issue. I don't even know what we can or can't get in here. It has been a thing that, possibly with some of these things that you can pull, super rare books, signed books, foil books, what have you. Just different things from different companies, and they've handled them different ways. Some of them have been these, like Gun Honey is a good example of it, where they have done these one-offs. Every single book that is released, and there's only a limited number of them, are different books. There's something different about every single one of the books. a different pose or a different color scheme or things like that. And it's not entirely AI from what I understand. So we don't really know. And then in some of these cases, like the Battle Beast book, you could even get, you'd be trying to buy Battle Beast #1 and you end up getting Battle Beast #2, where you end up getting some Invincible #1 or something like that you have no idea at all that it's in there, and you don't even get the book that you wanted. But it's all in good fun, and I don't want to ruin the fun for anyone. So here, let me turn it this way, and I'll open it up here. Let's see what we get. I was thinking it'd be easier for me to open it the other way, because there's nothing on the table in the other direction. Okay, well, that's real neat. You have a monster, the wolf, drawing a monster. It appears to be Bride of Frankenstein. Werewolves rule. A little bit of fun. Very cool. Not what you would call a virgin cover, but it is, a trade. Just the logo. Everything else is, all the other stuff is on the back. Let's look at the back. So this, I guess, this is all the different covers. Collect them all while supplies last. So you can buy them direct, of course. There's a ton of different covers there. Let's see, is this one on there? Which one is this? Dude, look for the duct tape. That seemed like the most obvious weird thing. There it is right there. It's that one. So it's A75 is what it is. So there you go. All right. And one of these is mine, and the other one is for the store. We're going to give it away. I'm just going to drop it randomly into somebody's pull. And then we have quite a few of them. Not a bunch. We didn't buy it. We didn't go too deep on these because the whole interest in it, I hate to say it, they flood the market. And Spears is one of these guys that's flooded the market. He's just all over the place, and all the people that were trying to keep up with his covers, they can't. And we had a number of people on pulls for a while. Right away when the monster stuff hit, it's everything. Give me everything with Mark Spears on it. Give me everything with Mark Spears on it. And then everything started to have Mark Spears on it. And they're like, I can't even begin to keep up. So here, let's go. Okay, so interesting that two of them we would get out of all of these different covers are the two that have this tape. This duct tape sort of label on the top of them. That's pretty neat. And so here's the Wolfman, apparently. It's a Wolfman's hand. He's obviously got a pencil. And he's I guess they're looking in. I don't know. There's a lot going on there. It's great, though. You get your Dracula, your vampire monster. You have your werewolf monster. You have your lagoon monster. You have your monster. Yeah, that's great. I don't know about any of the covers. I'll have to, I guess, now see, this is a virgin. There's no sort of labeling. There's no trade dress there. That's what he started to say before, that has a trade dress. So this is one with a trade dress, and then this is it's not the same pictures though. So it's just fun. It's just fun that they have all these different covers. And I don't know which ones are the hardest ones to find. I see these ones are sort of in the middle somewhere in the list of things. So I'm assuming they're just that. They're sort of middle of the road finds as far as that goes. They're not the I don't even know. Let's see. There's 1 in 250 retailer incentive hollow foil variant, limited to 1,190 copies, I think is what it says. 1 in 500 retailer, limited to 590. Yeah, so that makes sense. The math is in there somewhere. Oh, bump. Yeah, see, new camera setup. And that's exactly what I was trying to avoid by pulling it that way. Cover D1 in 1,000 retailer incentive metal variant. Well, that wouldn't be hard to spot. That would be easy to spot. How are they going to hide that? I guess you just know you got it when you get it. Well, that's it. Those are what's in there, and we have some on the shelf for you to come and try to. I don't know if it's truly gambling or not, but you could try your luck. And as always, they'll be here or they won't. And do us a favor and give us a quick like, and possibly if you're inclined to, a follow, and visit us at amazingfantasies.com.